Honor.
How you doing today?
Doing good.
I saw you early. I appreciate that. Mr.
Welcome.
Gomez, would you please raise your right hand where I can see it? You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, my Honor.
All right, go ahead and put your hand down. Mr. Gomez, you have two charges of DWI with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. You need to realize that that's very dangerous territory that you've been hanging around in. Before we do anything further, I'm going to discuss several constitutional rights and protections that you have.
Yes.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, my Honor.
All right. First right, let's talk about the right to remain silent. That means that you don't have to say anything. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit paperwork that has your signature, especially papers that may admit or confess to wrongdoing. Do you understand you have those rights, the right to remain silent?
Yes.
All right. Those rights belong to each case individually. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. In addition, you have the right to a jury trial. That means that you, your attorney, and the state could participate in a process of picking 6 random people from the community, from a jury pool, to sit as 6 jurors who would hear the evidence and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's the right to a jury trial. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes.
And that's a right to a jury in each case. Is that clear?
Yes, my Honor.
All right. You also have the right to confront witnesses. Excuse me. The right to confront witnesses in each case individually. What that means is that you and your attorney have the right to have witnesses that are going to testify against you come before you, and you can ask them questions, you can challenge them, you can cross-examine them. That right applies to each case. Do you understand that?
Yes, my Honor.
All right. You also have what's called a right of appeal. That right is used by you by yourself or your attorney for you or the two of you together. You could demand that the higher courts hear your challenges to the case. You'd have to do it by using the right paperwork in the right amount of time, but you could demand that they review the evidence and the official record in this case. We have a Ms. Rivera that's making the official record. Do you understand you have that right of appeal?
Yes, my Honor.
Now, you also have the right to have this hearing in the public courtroom. Each case individually in the public courtroom. Because of the COVID pandemic, we're not holding cases in the public courtroom, as obvious that you know that. But you have the right to demand it. Now, on each case, that right, instead, we're using the video conference system, which, as you know, we're doing it by computer. That is, though, a right that you can demand. I need you to be aware that you are being broadcast on YouTube. Anyone in the world can watch you and the rest of the participants here and the materials and everything that goes on in each one of these cases. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, all of those rights, by entering a plea bargain and a plea, you're giving up those rights. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And they apply to each case. Are you aware of that? Is that clear?
Yes, my Honor.
Now, Mr. Gomez, I'm going to show you some papers that cover. Now, I've talked to you about these rights. I'm going to show you some written papers that you, I believe, have reviewed with your attorney and that you've signed the papers too. They apply to each case. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now, I want you to be aware that almost all the papers, they have what I call identifying information. It's repeated several times at the top of each document. It'll show, and Ms. Garcia is going to show them to you right now. You'll be seeing them. Uh, they start with the case number at the top, and each one is 617531 is one case, and 626098 is the other one. We're showing you right now 617531, the state of Texas versus Alejandro Gomez in the Bexar County court number 5. What we're showing you now is, I mentioned to you a while ago that the defense and the state each have the individual right to demand this hearing be held in the public courtroom, unless y'all consent to video conference. The document you're being shown right now in this case number 617531 shows that Ms. Caitlin Morgan, the assistant prosecutor or the assistant district attorney, has signed consenting to do it by video conference. There's also one just like it in 626098. Now, what you're being shown now is a document called Discovery Acknowledgement. Again, it has the introductory information or the identifying information. This particular one, Discovery Acknowledgement, talks about a particular law that's called Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Now, we're not going to give you an exam and ask you for the number and all this and the other. What I want you to understand is that that law requires the state of Texas to provide all the information, evidence, documents, videos, whatever they have, make it available to you and your attorney so that y'all can review the evidence and the materials and make a good decision and an intelligent and informed decision. This has been signed by Ms. Morgan and your attorney, showing that that law has been obeyed. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right. Now, this one, we talked about it a while ago. Now you see it in writing. It's got the identifying information. Then it has the title Defendant's Consent to Video Conference. That's where you say, yes, we'll do it by video conference. I'm in agreement. I don't have to be in the open courtroom. It has your signature there. At least it's the official signature. Do you see that?
Yes, my honor.
All right. Now we're going to talk about a document, again, the identifying information at the top. And there's one for each of these two cases, 617531 and 626098. This one is called Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. You start off with 3 sentences here and then a division into 15 different parts that are numbered individually. The first sentence tells me in writing that you don't need me to read the official papers that accuse you of the DWI 0.15 or higher. Then the second sentence says, this is exactly what I've been charged with. I know that. DWI with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. That's commonly called extreme intoxication, Mr. Gomez. So then you see the divisions. The very first division is the range of punishment. What is the punishment for the offense? DWI. Now, looking at the papers, it's obvious to me that your attorney has done a good job and the state has been considerate. Instead of DWI extreme intoxication, the 0.15 or higher, there's going to be a motion in a little bit that says they're going to drop the extreme part and going to go just with DWI first. The fine can be anywhere from $0 to $2,000 and jail anywhere from 72 hours to 180 days in jail. Do you understand that that's the punishment you can receive?
Yes, my honor.
All right. Then number 2, what does number 2 say, Mr. Gomez?
I understand I have a right to a jury trial, a right to cross-examination of witness, and a right to remain silent. I freely and volunteer give up those rights.
Is that true? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Now, number 3 says, it asks you about mental health. Have you ever had any mental health problems?
No, my honor.
Have you ever been given or taken mental health medications?
No.
Okay. Number 4 talks about your plea of nolo contendere. Is that what you're going to plead?
Yes, my honor.
All right. That one says that basically you're doing it because you believe it's ultimately in your best interest after looking at the evidence and talking to your lawyer. Is that true?
Yes, my honor.
All right. Have you ever been involved with anything involving the sex offender registration program?
No.
Okay. Be aware that the plea bargains that you're making in 617-531 and 626-098, those plea bargains, as the judge, I have the authority and responsibility to say yes or no to your deal. If I choose, I can just reject it, or I can give you a punishment that's within the range but higher than what you decided you wanted to do, the deal that you made. If that happens, the law would allow you to start all over again. Each case, if that happens, you can start over and nothing you've said or done or signed up till now would be used against you. Is that understood?
Yes, my honor.
Where were you born, sir?
I was born in California.
All right. I will be noting in the records and the files that you are a U.S. citizen. Now, some of these don't apply to you, like the stuff on sex offender and all that. Don't worry about that. Number 15, you've signed this document that says that you waive the right to have me order a study to determine what risks and needs you have that we could work with you on. You want to give that right up? You don't want me to stop everything and order the study done?
Yes.
All right, so you don't want to study.
No, yeah, I want to study.
You want to study. All right. Do you want that in each case?
Yes.
Okay, doke. Then we're going to discontinue the proceedings right now. Mr. Barrera, you and Mr. Gomez, I need y'all to get together so we can order the risk and needs assessment, okay?
Yes, Judge. I'm not sure if my client understood the question. I did go over that number 15 with him. He did agree to waive a risk and needs assessment performed. I think he just may have misunderstood the question.
All right, you want to go quickly into breakout real quick and counsel him and decide what y'all want to do, because I don't mind stopping and getting a risk and needs assessment for it.
Yes, Judge. We should be brief.
Patty, if you put him in breakout.
In the meanwhile, Your Honor, may I be excused for a moment?
Of course.
Thank you, sir.
Breakout room 1. Mr. Gomez.
Ms. Luna,
Yes, Your Honor.
who does the risk and needs assessment?
That I don't know. I know that probation does like the taps. I know that you can, on cases like this, it could be sent to like I don't know what judge it was that does a mental health court. But when they're granted probation, that's when they're already granted, then they can get a mental health evaluation done. But as far as a risk and needs assessment, I'm not sure.
I'll need to find out very clearly.
Okay, Judge, we're back.
All right. What if anything do you want to do, Mr.?
Yeah, my honor. I misunderstood.
I'm sorry.
I misunderstood. So yeah, we can waive it.
Okay, no problem. We're gonna wait a moment for my prosecutor to get back.
Okay.
Mr. Ailman, you back?
Yes, sir.
All right, then we'll continue back on the record, Ms. Rivera. Mr. Gomez, we were
Yes.
looking at number 15 there. It says, I am waiving the right to have a risk and needs assessment performed prior to sentencing under Article 42A301, Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, and elect to have the court proceed with sentencing at this time. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, this applies to both cases, 617-531, 626-098. Each case, you have the individual right to have that. Now, the next document that we're being shown right now is case 617-531. This talks about my certifying your right of appeal. There's a bunch of boxes, little boxes stacked up vertically, and they each say something different about the right of appeal, what applies and what doesn't. In this case, I am certifying to you that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Is that clear to you in each case?
Yes, my honor.
Alrighty. I will be signing that after we mark the fifth box there. Proceed. Now, what you're seeing now is called an application for judge-ordered community supervision probation. This is 617531. There is the same document for case number 626-098. This application, did you review this carefully with Mr. Barrera?
Yes, my honor.
Did you understand what you're telling me under oath when you signed this thing?
Yes.
All right. You need to understand what probation basically is, Mr. Gomez.
Yes.
You are giving me your word. You're making a deal with me as a judge, as a court, that you will live up to 100% of the conditions of supervision. You will be told what those conditions are. They'll be in writing, and you will sign them. They will read them to you at the probation office, and you will sign them. Do you understand? You'll have to live up to them. You're giving me your word that you will.
Yes, my honor.
All right. On each case.
Yes.
All right. That has your signature and your attorney. Now, this document is the only one that doesn't have that identifying information because it is your identifying information. You put your name, address, phone number. You're talking. Is that who you work for?
Yeah, that's where I work.
Okay. And you say your wages are $900. $900 a week or a month or what?
No, that's for a week.
Per week. All right.
Yes.
Very good. You're doing well.
Yeah.
Do you have children?
I have one, but they're in Mexico.
Okay. Do you provide child support for them?
No.
You do not. Okay. And you have a vehicle?
No.
What do you drive? How did you get arrested twice? DWI? If you
Oh,
don't
well,
have-
oh,
Sir?
during that time, I had barely bought a vehicle. For the first one, I had my boss van with the work van. That one I crashed, and the second one, I had barely bought that vehicle, but I was barely gonna change the tire and everything. But that's when I got my second DWI.
So you don't have a vehicle at all?
No, not right now.
All right. Mr. Barrera, I'm gonna need an affidavit to that effect
Of course, Your Honor.
on each case. All right. Mr. Gomez,
Yes.
during this probation period that you're gonna have, you cannot drive any vehicle unless it has the ignition interlock system on it. So if you buy one or you rent one or somebody lends you one, don't be driving it because if you get caught, you're going to jail. Is that understood?
Yes, my honor.
If you get a car, because you're making nice money. If you get a car, let us know so we can put the ignition interlock in there. Otherwise, you're going to have what we call a portable alcohol monitor. So this document here is called the plea agreement. The identifying information is your name and then the case number. I have marked the two boxes. The first one talks about, again, your right to remain silent. Then there's a check mark that says that you are a U.S. citizen. Those are important in this proceeding. Following that, there's a section called Defendant's Acknowledgements. This is where you understand and agree to all those things that are written in there. There's 5 different check marks that talk about your rights, the right of appeal, the right to a jury trial, the right to confront witnesses, the right to remain silent. The same ones that we talked about, they're repeated there for you again in writing. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. Now, the state has a motion. Mr. Edelman.
In each case, the state moves to waive and abandon the extreme intoxication enhancement and proceed as an unenhanced DWI.
Any objections, Mr. Barrera?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right. There being no objection, the court in each case grants the motion, and we proceed on DWI first, or also called misdemeanor B DWI. Mr. Gomez, in case number 617531, what is your plea?
No contest.
All right. In case number 626098, what is your plea?
No contest.
All right. I will repeat and remind you that a no contest plea in this court is considered a guilty plea and is sufficient for me to convict you on that plea. Is that understood?
Yes, my honor.
All right. Now, on each of these cases, you're ordered to go and present yourself at the offices of County Court of Law number 5. They're in the hallway behind County Court of Law number 5. You need to present yourself and have your thumbprint placed on the different documents in both cases, 617531 and 626098. That is a requirement by law. Do you understand that?
Yes, my honor.
All right. Now, you're sentenced in this matter. These are not deferreds, are they?
No, sir.
All right. Then we'll need to check off the first one. I find the defendant guilty. You're sentenced to 6 months Bexar County Jail. That is probated or suspended for 14 months. In case number 617531, is it the same thing in 626098, Mr. Edelman?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then you are fined $500 plus costs. Now, this agreement says that the $500 is being probated. I do not accept that. I'm not going to probate any of it. You're making about almost $4,000 a month and you have no dependents. I will refuse that. And because I'm refusing that, you have the right to start all over again on each case. You will perform 56 hours of community service. I'll give you a moment in a minute to see if you want to accept this or not. 23 hours of the service is probated, which means you have to do 33 hours. Am I correct? Yes. If you do everything you're supposed to, then you will do 33 hours of community service restitution.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Your Honor, but I believe that half of 56 is 28.
That is correct. But it says here 23 hours community service is probated. So it'd be 33. Am
Yes,
I right?
sir. My mistake.
Am I correct?
You are
Yeah,
correct, sir.
33 hours is what you'll have to do if you live up to everything. If you don't, you're going to be looking at very possibility of being put in jail. You'll submit to a TAP evaluation and follow the recommendations. Instead of the interlock, you'll have 7 months of the portable alcohol monitoring system, the PAM it's called. Is that clear?
Yes, my honor.
Now, this one says Scram Cam. Mr. Edelman.
Yes, sir.
So we're doing Scram Cam, not the PAM.
We should be doing Scram Cam rather than the portable alcohol.
Okay, that's what it'll be. That's the agreement. That's what I order. All right, I have already told you that for the duration of the Scram Cam, you will not drive any vehicle unless it has the Scram Cam attached, but you're not to drive any vehicle. Is that understood, sir?
Yes, my honor.
All right. This case will run concurrent with 626098. In 626098, those matters, the sentence that I have read will be applicable. The supervisory fee on each case, though running concurrent, will be $34 a month. Questions, Mr. Barrera?
No, Your Honor. I just wanted to, probably wasn't clear from Mr. Gomez, but he doesn't provide child support because he's still providing for the child. Him and his wife are together, except she's, I believe she's working on her documents to come to the country. So
Great.
that's why she's in Mexico.
All right. And by the way, I do need to cover this for the record. Mr. Gomez, I
Yes.
fined you $500, but the agreement you'd made was that we would probate the 500. As I told you before, I have the right to give you any punishment that I want to within the proper range. I am not forgiving or probating the 500. You're going to pay that because you make enough money to take care of that. I want you to remember that you will now have two convictions. And you have to be very careful because if you get a third one, you're looking to go in state prison. It'll be a felony. Do you hear me?
Yes, my honor.
All right. Now, there's also a problem you're liable to be looking at. The state of Texas now, they have a special fine for DWIs. I'm not certain, but I think they're going to want to fine you something like $4,500. That's if you're going to try to get a license, you're going to drive. They're going to hit you for $4,500 fine because you're being convicted. Now, Mr. Edelman, does this constitute a final conviction in that course?
For purpose of the imposition of that fine, sir, no.
Okay, great. Don't screw this up, Mr. Gomez, because if you do, then there will be a final conviction and you'll be looking at that 4,500, if not more. Is that
Okay.
clear, Mr. Gomez?
Yes, my honor.
All right, you've got a wife and a child to take care of. You don't want to wind up in prison. You don't want to wind up spending $4,500 more than you've already spent to get this matter taken care of, okay?
Okay.
All right, take care of yourself. You and your family be safe. Ms. Luna.
Yes, Your Honor, I do need to speak to him.
All right, Mr. Gomez,
Yes.
Marcela Luna is going to visit with you and break out and get all the information she needs from you because she's the one who's got to set up this thing. You're going to have to go to the probation office. They're going to, are they doing this virtual?
I don't think so anymore, Judge. I think the POs
Okay,
are,
good.
well, I don't
Be
know.
aware.
I think they're going back May 1st.
Okay, you're going to get set up for probation, but you're going to have to review everything and you have to sign stuff, but don't forget to go and put your thumbprint